watches that probably cost more than my car. Their glares told me they didn't appreciate my cotton t-shirt, peasant skirt, and flip-flops. I was 25 years old. It's not like I didn't know how to dress. But hell, other fabrics and shoes were way more expensive to replace when I changed into my other form. I spotted our accuser as we stalked our way to the front of the assembly. Even in a courtroom crammed with young and sexy vampires, Misha stood out. His tall, muscular frame filled his fitted suit, and his long blonde hair brushed against his shoulders. Yet it wasn't his height or his wealth or even his striking features that captivated me. He possessed a fierce presence that commanded the room. Misha was a force to be reckoned with. But, strangely enough, so was I. Misha had requested our presence in Sacramento after charging us with the murder of one of his family members. We had two choices: appear in court or be hunted for the rest of our lives. The whole situation sucked. We'd stayed hidden from the supernatural world for so long. Now, not only had we been forced into the limelight, but we also faced the possibility of dying some twisted Rob Zombie-inspired death. Of course, God forbid that would make Taryn shut her trap. She leaned in close to me. "Celia, how about I gather some magic-born sunlight and fry these assholes?" she whispered in Spanish. A few of the vampires behind us muttered and hissed, causing uproar among the rest. If they didn't like us before, they sure as hell hated us then. Shayna laughed nervously, but maintained her perky demeanor. "I think some of them understand the lingo, dude." I recognized Taryn's desire to burn the vamps to blood and ash, but I didn't agree with it. Conjuring such power would leave her drained and vulnerable, easy prey for the master vampires, who would be immune to her sunlight. Besides, we were already in trouble with one master for killing his keep. We didn't need to be hunted by the entire leeching species. The procession halted in a strangely wide-open area before a raised dais. There were no chairs or tables, nothing we could use as weapons against the judges or the angry mob amassed behind us. My eyes focused on one of the boarded windows. The light honey-colored wood frame didn't match the darker boards. I guess the last defendant had tried to escape. Judging from the claw marks running from beneath the frame to where I stood, he, she, or it hadn't made it. I looked up from the deeply scratched floor to find Misha's intense gaze on me. We locked eyes, predator to predator, neither of us the type to back down. "You're trying to intimidate the wrong gal, pretty boy. I don't scare easily." Shayna slapped her hand over her face and shook her head, her long black ponytail waving behind her. "For Pete's sake, Celia, can't you be a little friendlier?" She flashed Misha a grin that made her blue eyes sparkle. "How's it going, dude?" Shayna said dude a lot, ever since dating some idiot claiming to be a professional surfer. The term fit her sunny personality and eventually grew on us. Misha didn't appear taken by her charm. He eyed her as if she'd asked him to make her a garlic pizza in the shape of a cross. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Leave it to Shayna to try to befriend the guy who'll probably suck us dry by sundown. At the sound of my chuckle, Misha regarded me slowly. His head tilted slightly as his full lips curved into a sensual smile. I would have preferred a vicious stare. I knew how to deal with those. For a moment, I thought he'd somehow made my clothes disappear, and I was standing there like the bleeding hoochies in that awful painting. The judge's sudden arrival gave me an excuse to glance away. There were 4, each wearing a formal robe of red velvet with an elaborate powdered wig. They were probably several centuries old, but like all vampires, they didn't appear a day over 30. Their splendor easily surpassed the beauty of any mere mortal. I guessed the whole sucky me love you all night lifestyle paid off for them. The judges regally assumed their places on the raised dais. Behind them hung a giant plasma screen, which appeared out of place in this century-old building. Did they plan to watch a movie while they decided how best to disembowel us? A female judge motioned Misha forward with a Queen Elizabeth hand wave. A long, thick scar angled from the corner.